and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a pom-pom and a pom-pom maker. So you're going to need yarn, any color or texture will do. It really just depends on what colors you want your pom-pom to be. You can layer different colors of yarn, but that's for a later tutorial. I'm just using this rainbow yarn because it's kind of fun and I like it. So I also have a cardboard box. This is just a Golden Grams box, a cereal box. You can use the back of an art pad, an old art pad. You can use cardboard, like a cardboard box. I recommend this kind of cardboard, not like what an Amazon shipping box is or something like that, because this is nice and thin, and so it won't get in your way as much as that. But if that's all you have, if all you have is just a regular cardboard box, that will work as well. Thick cardstock won't really work for this. You want something stiffer. So I just have a Golden Grams box, and what I did was I used just a cup, but anything round will do. So you could use a Mod Podge bottle, or you could use a compass and measure. This is about a 2-inch circle, 2.5 maybe. You could use a regular cup, whatever you have that's circular. The size of your circle is going to be about the size of your pom-pom. So if I have a 2-inch circle here, I'm gonna have a 2-inch pom-pom when I'm done. So you wanna think about that. You can do smaller pom-poms by just making smaller circles, okay? You can do big, huge pom-poms by just cutting a giant circle, maybe like a dinner plate. That would be really fun. That'd be a lot of yarn though. You need a pen so that you can draw your circles, and you need a smaller circle for your center. So I have one circle that I used a cup for, and in the center of that, I feel like a coin would be the best, but really you just want your circle to be about the size of the quarter. No matter how big your circle is, you really want it to be pretty small. A quarter works great. If all you have is a nickel, that will be good enough, or you can just freehand a little circle. Won't be as perfect though. So instead of drawing my quarter on both, I'm actually gonna cut out this circle. So you need scissors. And it doesn't have to be exact, but the nicer job you do on this, the better your tool will be, because you can reuse this. So take your time and cut out your circle nicely. You can use the X-Acto blade or whatever you want for this. But you also want your two circles to match, so they need to be the same size. So after you have your two cardboard circles cut out, you're gonna draw around your quarter on one of them, only one, okay? I just used a Sharpie marker. I put it approximately in the center. You know, you just don't want it to be kind of off skew there. Just about. You can measure, but it's pretty easy to eyeball. It does not have to be exact center. You just want to be pretty close. If you use a compass, your center will probably be marked by the end of your compass anyways. So let me grab my compass here. This is a compass. You know, you can put this in the center, draw it, and then you'll have a little mark in the center that'll show you where it is. So compass is a great tool. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm gonna put these together, and I'm gonna cut this circle out together. This is another reason why this is really great, but what you could do, if you don't feel like cutting them together or your cardboard is a little bit thicker, is you could cut one and then use the other one lined up as a template. So I'll show you that because that's a little bit more complicated than cutting them together. So I'll draw my line of what I'm gonna do. So I'm just going to cut in and around, and I'm also going to cut a little mouth or an opening. And you can use a ruler, but I don't think that's necessary. So I'm gonna be cutting out this circle and this little wedge here. So I'll show you one at a time. Sometimes if you're cutting cardboard, it can be a little hard with scissors. It can be hard on your fingers. So go slowly. You can use an X-Acto blade if that's more comfortable for you. So I'm actually going to continue to cut that off just because it's easier for my hands. And then I'm going to cut that line. So you should have something that looks like this. And you want to make this one line up exactly. So because I didn't cut these together, what I would do is I'm just going to take my marker. Put this down because I don't want to get marker on my table. Make sure both my pieces are lined up and trace that opening. So I'm just using the top one as a stencil for my bottom one. And you definitely want to do it in 2 different pieces, especially if you are using thick cardboard. But again, cereal boxes are perfect for this. Plus my cats are currently playing with the remainder of the cereal box. They really liked the opening that I cut out. It's their new addition to their box fort they've got going, so. All right, so now that I have both of these, the rest is pretty simple as far as making our pom-pom goes. So I'm gonna get all this stuff out of the way. And I just wanna start, this got pulled off. Yarn and cats, they just really, really love it. It's not a myth. They like to play with all my yarn. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to start wrapping my circles, okay? So I'm gonna wrap all the way around until I get to this opening here. And I'm gonna wrap a few times over, probably 5 or 6 times, because I want a nice, fluffy, dense pom-pom. The more yarn you use and the more you wrap your little circle here, the denser and fluffier your little pom-pom will be. So I'm just holding that tail back here, so I'll show you that. I'm holding the tail back here, just ever so slightly with my finger, and then I'm wrapping the yarn around it. So, to hold it into place. Then once you have it in place, you can just keep going all the way around. So I'm just going in that little hole. I'm going all the way around. I'm gonna do one loose layer first, and then I'm gonna go in and fill it in. You can just fill it in right away and just keep layering up. It doesn't really matter as far as like precision goes or getting them one next to the other. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you have an even amount of yarn on all of the sides of your pom-pom. So you don't really want to build up a big, thick, heavy bit of yarn here and then have it just a little bit over here. You want to make sure that if it's light here, you keep it light and then keep building up. I'm doing it light at first just because I kind of want to just get this row over with and get back to the start so I can fill that in. I don't want to go really thick here. Okay, and when you get to this end, you're not going to go across, you're going to go back. So you're going to go back the way you came. This cardboard is also nice because it's a little bit flexible. They do sell plastic versions of this that you can buy. They snap together They're really cool. I like them a lot, but this is just a little at-home version. And it's really customizable because the plastic ones that we do have some in studio, the plastic ones, they're one size. You can't really adjust them to make them bigger or smaller, so you have the sizes that you have and that's about it. But with this, you can really make big, huge pom-poms, little tiny ones. You can make a 1.5 or 1 1/4 because usually the pom-pom makers that you can buy are standard size, like 2 inches, 1 inch, 3 inch, and so on. They're not really half sizes. So if you had a specific project where you wanted one, it would really help with a lot of waste. Because you could also wrap this yarn around your fingers and cut it and get a cool pom-pom. You don't need to do this, but this will make you have a really nice round fluffy pom-pom that you don't need to cut a lot of yarn off of. Because if you use just like your fingers or wrap it around a piece of just straight cardboard, you're gonna have a lot of waste because when you trim it to make it a nice round pom-pom, you're gonna have to cut a lot off. So now I'm just gonna go all the way to my edge. And I'm gonna continue wrapping this a few more times. And I'm gonna go a little bit thicker, a little bit closer together. This one's looking like it might just be blue and teal. I might get a little purple in there. So once you've made your pom-pom, what do you do with it? Well, there's lots of different things that you can do with pom-poms. You can turn them into the end of a tapestry that you've made. You can add them to hats and scarves. You can make little pom-pom creatures. There's lots of tutorials on how to do that. Like little pom-pom raccoons and panda bears and bunnies and things. They're super adorable. Or you can use them for birthday parties and like a garland. Make them into keychains. Make tiny ones and make earrings out of them. That would be really cute. So just going back and forth with my yarn. I find that flipping it tends to help a little bit with my direction. I can go a lot faster after I flipped it. It's just however it's more comfortable for you. And then after I've wrapped it, probably about 6 times, I'm going to show you how to cut your pom-pom. So I'm going to finish wrapping this and I'll be right back. Okay. So I wrapped it a few more times and now I'm just going to cut this end. And the reason why we used 2 pieces of cardboard is for this next step. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to slide my scissors in to my cardboard. And I am just going to cut my yarn all along the edge. And it's gonna be quite difficult to do if you don't have sharp scissors. These are really sharp and it's still a little bit tricky. But the further you can get your scissors in, it gets a little bit easier. So you're just gonna go ahead and cut your yarn. Let's see if I have another pair of scissors over here. Nope. This is where an X-Acto blade might also come in handy. So just go slow and cut all the way around. And you want to make sure that you're cutting all the way through every piece. So I've cut all the way through those pieces. You wanna make sure that you're holding in the center while you do this too, so that all of your pieces don't start falling off as you go. So make sure that you're kind of holding it, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a knot in this after we cut it off. Okay, so I'm gonna finish cutting that off. It's gonna take me quite some time and don't really need to watch that long. Okay, so I have my pom-pom cut all the way around the sides. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a length of yarn. I'm using about a foot of yarn just so it's a little bit easier for me to tie a knot. And it's still all really secure on here, which is good, that's what you want. Here's my little opening down here. Here's so in between your two circles, you're gonna slide your yarn in. So in between my two circles, I'm gonna slide my yarn in. I'm gonna go all the way to that opening here. And then I'm just going to tie a square knot, but actually I'll do a sailor's knot because I'm gonna go one more through. So I should have 3 little rings, 1, 2, 3, and pull tight. And you wanna pull as tight as you can. That way, you know that your pom-pom is nice and secure all the way to its core. Then I'm gonna do that one more time. Going across, under, and under again, then pulling. Now it is time to release my pom-pom from its cardboard. I'm just gonna pull these off. 1 and 2. So there you have it, you have a pom-pom. And as you can see, it does have some sides that are a little bit long here. And the way that you can trim this pom-pom to make it nice, and even, and look, that rainbow effect made some really cool stripes there, which is really neat. So you wanna fluff your pom-pom first before doing any cutting, but I can see there's some stragglers there. So what you wanna do is you wanna take your tool and you wanna find the center and just lay your pom-pom down. And then what you're gonna do, you can make a sandwich if it's easier, but I'm just gonna use one. Hold it and trim all the way around. And I wanna make sure that I'm not cutting my tail off here because I'm gonna use that to tie this pom-pom to something else. But you can do whatever you want. If you wanna trim that tail, you can trim it and just have a little ball. So all the way around. Putting quite a bit of pressure, squeezing this. So that's one side. So you can see it's nice and rounded. And so now I want to do this side, so I'm going to fluff it out. I don't think I need this long of a tail. So I'm going to do the same thing. Tuck my little tail up here and hold it if I need to, just so I don't get it. Make sure that it's nice and centered. And then you're gonna trim around. And then you're gonna take a look and see if there's any sides. I feel like this side might be just a little bit long. So I'm gonna do one more trim right here. Just get it nice and round. So you can feel the center because it's really thick, and you can see that that's where those strings are. I think I just missed this side when I cut it the first time. I don't know about you, but cutting yarn is a really satisfying feeling. The sound that it makes. And okay, so I have a nice, floofy, dense pom-pom that's pretty even all the way around. So it's nice and round. If there's any like loose ones, you can go ahead and just snip those visually. Like I think right there, there's one or two in there. But other than that, I think it's a pretty nice pom-pom. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you try making some pom-poms. I think this one would be a really cool pom-pom for a hat made out of this yarn, or maybe a little bobble at the end of a scarf would be really cool. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to see more of our videos, hit the notification bell and it will let you know when we have new ones. Thanks for watching.